Welcome back, y'all. Are you looking for a weekend getaway, but not too far from our capital city? Kristen Finan with Austin Travels Magazine is here with some suggestions, to head up I-35 for some fun in Dallas. Kristen, good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you as always. Why is Dallas specifically a good spring destination?
So I think sometimes we forget about Dallas. We have such amazing big cities in Texas. But it's only 3 hours up the road, and I keep finding reasons to go. There's just a bunch of new stuff going on there, and then it's also super family friendly, so it's just a great time of year. Hop in the car, stop at Buc-ee's on the way, and then, and then enjoy Dallas.
That's exactly what we do. Yeah. All right. Where would you suggest to stay if we're heading up there?
So we just went for spring break, and we stayed at the Hilton Anatole, and this is in a perfect location in Dallas, accessible to everything. What's really fun is it's like a playground for families.
Oh, great.
So we did something called Camp Anatole, and that's where you book a suite that is all camp themed.
Aww.
So we're talking like bunk beds with like nature themes.
Cute.
They have activities. They had all kinds of like s'mores themed snacks. And my kids, like when they walked in, and there's like teenagers involved in my mix, they were like screaming, like jumping up and down. It was so adorable.
As a mom, you have to be like,
yes, yeah, this was a win. This was a definite win. And then they have a huge sprawling water park with slides and lazy river and private cabanas. And so you can spend the day out there. They have a Top Golf swing suite. Have you heard of these? They're like, it's like you can golf, but it's in like a little suite enclosed inside a room.
I have heard of
this.
And
do the games and stuff. And so that was a blast. And then they have all this art all over the property. I mean, you could really just stay on the complex and have an amazing weekend. But then it's also a great home base to explore out from there.
I think that's so good for kids because, you know, you want them to stay entertained, and what's easier than having breakfast and saying, okay, now just go out to the pool.
Yes.
You guys go have some fun.
Yes, and this was no like hotel pool. I mean, this was really like a mini Schlitterbahn.
Yeah.
So they were like, can we stay longer? Can we stay longer? I was like, we have other stuff to see, but it was really, really fun.
That is so sweet. Okay, this is a fun one. Tell us about medieval times.
All right, well, this was my first time there, and I had it on my list for a long time.
Sure.
And it's right next to the hotel where we stayed. But it truly is, you know, stepping back in time.
I love the crowns.
There are crowns. There are knights. I will say there were no female knights, and I would like to see, you know, the
dear medieval times.
Let's talk about some female knights. But there was a king and a queen, and then you're eating. They come around, and you're eating everything with hands. I guess it's supposed to be a throwback, you know. And so you're eating your chicken, and you're like drinking your soup, and it was just very unlike anything that I've done.
I can tell that you're like, it was different.
It was definitely something the kids will remember.
The kids will remember it, and that's an important thing, is that we're making memories here.
Yes.
How about where else to eat and drink?
Okay, now the Dallas dining scene right now is on fire, and we got to go to this restaurant called Georgie, and the chef there, R.J. Yoakum, just got nominated for a James Beard, but he's so down to earth and amazing, and everything's like inspired by his childhood. So like he liked to have potato chips and onion dip with his grandma, and now he has this elevated potato churro with this incredible caramelized onion dip, and everything is just so creative but also accessible. So like again, I took my kids there, and this is a very, very nice restaurant, but they loved it and tried new things, and it was just such an experience. You felt like
everything's beautifully plated.
It is so beautiful, and again, I mean, he's just like the nicest person. So you're just very humble and just really deserves all the praise.
You're kind of rooting for him to do well.
For
okay,
sure.
You did mention the art scene a little bit earlier. Let's talk more about that.
And this is fun too, because I didn't know they do a big elaborate brunch at the Dallas Museum of Art. And so you can actually go and enjoy the cuisine there, and they've got like a pianist that's playing like Bruno Mars music.
Cool.
And like it was really fun. But then go check out the museum, and the Dallas art scene overall is just incredible. So like we saw a Broadway show while we were there. They have opera, and then a bunch of other museums too. And then in Grapevine, not too far, they also had the new Meow Wolf, which is like the immersive art stuff where you like go on a slide through the washing machine, and it's totally different, but also amazing.
I was gonna say Meow Wolf, if you've seen like a billboard for it, you're like, I have no idea what to expect if I show up there, but it's supposed to be pretty cool.
It is, and it's really hard to describe too, because you're like, this is unlike anything I've been to, but it's really amazing. So each room is different themed, and again, really fun for kids too.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Grapevine because I also want to ask about Fort Worth because obviously that's just a half step away.
Yes, exactly. And we've been going to Fort Worth a lot for concerts, and Billy Bob's gets a lot of concerts, and they've got the bull riding. I hadn't been there in a while. It is sprawling. It's the biggest honky tonk apparently in the country.
Wow.
So you can bull ride, you can take 2-step lessons, you can see like 3 concerts at once. It's just absolutely amazing. And then Fort Worth in general, the Stockyards is so much fun. Downtown's fun. They have a great art scene too. So you could kind of do both in the same trip.
I love it. Okay, we're in our last 15 seconds here. Real quickly, a wildflower article, a part of this next edition.
Yes, so on Austin Travels, we have a roundup. I mean, it's a little bit different season, this year, but we are saying what you can see, which ones are doing well, and you can check out like how to get those wildflower photos.
What she's saying is that it's kind of a tough wildflower year, so make sure you read the magazine to see where you can take some good pictures. Kristen, as always, thank you so much. All right, follow along with all things travel and plan your trip to Texas or beyond with AustinTravels.com.